You ready, AD?
Yep.
Well, AD, certainly one of the team's best wins in a long time, and certainly this season, and the way that you performed individually. And Milwaukee's still up to the task. What did it take tonight, and what do you think was the difference?
Team effort. We've played for a full 48 minutes tonight, competing, taking punches, and they come out in the third, and I don't know how many threes they hit, but we withstood their run and just executed. This is a good win for us. Obviously, we feel like the first game and the last game on a long road trip are the most important. Obviously, each game is important, but starting the road trip off right, and then that last game, after a long trip, you kind of ready to get back home, so that's important too. But we want to come out and set a tone for our road trip, against a great team, one of the top teams in the league, and we was able to get a victory tonight.
Since I know you're going to bring it up, are you going to give some credit to Aaron Rodgers?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even though he's here in Wisconsin?
Yeah. You guys know how I feel about the Pack and him. So seeing him before the game, you're like, AD, man, I need 30 tonight. And I just saw him. He said, I only said 30, not 40. So, it's always good to, for him to come out and watch the Lakers play, watch me play, and he's a fan just how I'm a fan of his. So, and my guy Randall was there too, so it was good to see some Pack in the house and get a win for them.
AD, throughout this run you've done a lot of your damage in the paint, but your jump shot was working today, 2 threes. Saw the step back fadeaway at the end of the first. When did that feel like that was in your bag tonight, and what's your confidence in your jump shot right now?
I'm always confident in every shot that I take. Just knowing how they play, Brook being down the floor, Giannis being down the floor. It wasn't probably going to be a get to the rim game, so just trying to shoot over the top. And then after you make a couple, then they starting to close out, and you're able to get to the paint. So I'm just trying to make the reads and be confident in every shot that I take. I rep it a lot on practice, off days, whatever, in the gym getting a shot. So just staying confident and just letting it fly.
AD, understanding that it was one night tonight, but you, Russ, and LeBron as a unit has been under a fair amount of scrutiny since it was formed. Mm-hmm. How did that function tonight, and how replicable do you think? I mean, obviously it's not going to be exactly like this every night, but what does this say about that core potentially moving forward?
We're figuring it out game by game, day by day. We're in constant communication about how we can get better, late game, throughout the game. The play that, says for us, Lakers basketball is Russ down on the floor after a pass that Chris Middleton fumbled, and then getting us kind of, sort of, a ceiling dunk, kicking it to Bron, and then, Bron passing it to me. So, we're just figuring it out with us three, Russ, making some great reads, making some good play calls, and we're just trying to execute. But, he did a good job tonight, Bron, myself, the rest of the guys. So we're just trying to, figure it out and just let the outside noise be outside noise and, try to keep stacking wins.
AD, some of these games on the calendar mean more to an individual in the group for whatever reason in their background. Tonight you come back to Milwaukee where Darvin had been an assistant for a long time. How much was that on the minds of the players? And he told us that, hey, he may have given more in the scout than he normally would have because he has some institutional knowledge of this team.
It's like a player going back home. Going back to his previous team for the first time. As a head coach, it's that first win and then going back to your former team. And I think, this one, without it being said before the game, we wanted to win it for him, obviously, saying that we only come here once a year, once a season. So we wanted to get that, that victory for him. And it feels good. It feels good when, your coach is doing everything for your players, for the players to, to try to put them in the right position to get victories, and then we can also return the favor and, get this win here back home for them.
Last question.
Hey, you and Giannis had a bit of a duel tonight, and it's his 10th season now. I'm curious, what do you remember from playing? Yeah. What do you remember? What do you remember playing against him very early in his career, and how have you seen him change to where he is now?
It's funny because anytime, we line up, I try to think about, previous matchups and how I can be better. And, obviously his usage rate wasn't as high early on, coming in, as a young player. But he's continued to grow over the years to become, two-time MVP, dominant player. So hats off to him, respect. And it's always a battle. I mean, we bring the best out of each other. It's a fun matchup. Even though we probably don't guard each other a lot in a game, we're both trying to do everything possible to help the team win. So it's always a good matchup, anytime we step on the floor together.
Thanks, Sam.
Go, Pat, go.
This week of all weeks. This week of all weeks. There we go, y'all. Oh, yeah.